Who Was Sacagawea? By Dennis Brindle Fraden and Judith Bloom Fraden. Illustrated by Val Paul Taylor. Who was Sacagawea? In the year 2000, the United States issued a new dollar coin. Its head side shows an American Indian woman. She is carrying her baby. Who is this young mother? Her name was Sacagawea. 200 years ago, she went with the Lewis and Clark expedition. The explorers traveled across the American Northwest. When the explorers were hungry, she found food. When they met Indians along the way, she acted as translator. Thanks to Sacagawea's help, the expedition was a success. The Lewis and Clark expedition changed American history. It helped the United States settle a huge region. This area included what became the states of Idaho, Washington, and Oregon. Sacagawea was only 16 years old when she crossed America with her baby on her back. This is her true story. Chapter 1, A Shoshone Girl. Sacagawea was born in what is now Idaho in 1789 or 1790. She was a Shoshone Indian. Her tribe lived along the Bitterroot Range of the Rocky Mountains. They often camped near the Snake River, so they were also called the Snake Indians. As a child, she had many different names. This was common for young Indians. In time, she became known as Sacagawea. Sacaga means bird, and Wea means woman, so her name means bird woman. She may have been called Bird Woman because she was small and moved quickly like a bird. Sacagawea had an older brother named Kamiawait. She also had another brother and a sister. Her family lived in a tent called a teepee. The Shoshone were peaceful wanderers. Between May and September, the Shoshone camped along streams. There they fished for salmon and trout. In the fall, they packed their teepees onto horses. They then headed east to the plains of present-day Montana. There the men hunted buffalo, riding on horseback and using bows and arrows. The weather was often very cold, so Shoshone men, women, and children needed lots of warm clothing. Sacagawea wore a dress and leggings that were made of deerskins. Over these went a knee-length robe made from buffalo hides. The robe became her blanket at night. Her warm winter shoes were made from buffalo hide with the woolly hair on the inside. Her clothes were decorated with beads and porcupine quills. The Shoshone did not have schools. Sacagawea learned by working beside the women of her tribe. She collected wood for fires. She helped make moccasins, clothing, and teepees. She picked berries and dug roots for her family to eat. She learned to make medicines from plants. The village elders taught Sacagawea the beliefs of her people. She heard how the Creator made the world and Coyote made human beings. She was warned about the little people who shot invisible arrows. For fun, she ran races and juggled mud balls with her friends. Like all Shoshone girls, Sacagawea was promised to an older man. She would become his wife when she turned 13 or 14. But in 1800, her life changed forever. Sacagawea was just 10 or 11 at the time. Her tribe was camped near what is now Three Forks, Montana. Suddenly, Minnetaree Indians attacked. This enemy tribe had guns. The Shoshone had only bows and arrows. 15 of Sacagawea's people died in the attack. The rest fled to the woods. The Minnetaree chased them, taking women and children prisoner. Sacagawea was running across a river when a warrior grabbed her. He pulled her onto his horse and rode away. Her best friend was also captured. Sacagawea and the other prisoners were taken 600 miles to a Minnetaree village in what is now North Dakota. Her friend escaped, but Sacagawea didn't. The young Shoshone girl was given to a Minnetaree family. Sacagawea was a prisoner among strangers. She was hundreds of miles from home. She missed her family. She did not even know if they were still alive. A fur trader from Canada often visited the village where Sacagawea now lived. His name was Toussaint Charbonneau. Charbonneau was 3 times as old as Bird Woman, but when he saw her, he wanted her for his wife. The Minnetaree traded her to him. Just like that, Sacagawea became one of his Indian wives. Now she belonged to another stranger. Sacagawea and her husband settled in a village of Mandan and Minnetaree Indians. By the age of about 15, she was expecting a child. Her baby was not yet born when some strangers arrived in the village. Once again, Bird Woman's life was about to change forever.